Committee Chair. I will be going ahead and starting this organizational meeting here for the 2026 Board of Directors officers. And everyone's here. Welcome, everyone. So I'll go ahead and request we would adopt the agenda. Is there any changes to the agenda?
Nope.
Okay.
That I'm aware of.
Hearing none, the agenda is adopted. I will go ahead and start with the nominations process. It just is, I'm sure all of you know, a nomination does not need to be seconded. Oh, I'm sorry. We are starting at 6:04 p.m. Thank you. And as I was saying, as nominations come forward, they do not need to be seconded. I have a question for the directors. When we do come to the point of voting, do you want to vote under secret ballot, or would you like to vote by show of hands?
Show of hands.
Show of hands?
I
Okay.
like secret ballot.
I watched them tonight just for this, so.
Okay. So it sounds like the majority is in favor of by show of hands.
I like secret ballot.
I like secret ballot.
Take a vote.
I like show of hands.
Show of hands, how many show of hands? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many secret ballot? 4. Wunderbar. Jean will be here in a few minutes. She just texted that she's on her way. She thought the meeting started at 6:30.
Okay. Well, I suppose I can tap dance.
Well, you could request nominations.
I could do that. At this point, and the other thing I was going to say is, once you have elected your president, at that point, the president will take over this organizational meeting, okay? So that's kind of the process. Is there a nomination for president?
I nominate Keith McLean for president.
Okay, Keith McLean has been nominated as president. Keith, are you willing to serve?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is there any other nominations? Right.
I make a nomination of Rick Asai for president.
Rick, do you accept the nomination?
I'd be willing to do that, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we have, at this point, we have Keith McLean is nominated and Rick Asai. Is there any other nominations? Okay. At this point, I would close nominations. I think we need to wait for the other director, do we not? Or we have a quorum.
We do have a
We do have a
quorum.
quorum.
Should have did roll call. Before, like, roll calls up there at the top. When you call a meeting to order, then do a roll call.
Well, I did, but I said everybody, oh, I'm sorry, I said everybody was here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ray Netter is here, Tom Henning is here.
Say it slower if you want to eat up some time, so you don't have to tap dance.
You could spell the last names just so.
So Ray Netter is here.
How do you spell that?
I believe it's F-E-A-D-O-R.
I got a street downtown.
And Tom Henning is here, as well as Lori Robinson. Rick Asai is here. Tommy Vanpool is here. I'm just trying to.
Let's all do it this way. You get a guess.
Sean Chappie is here. Joe, you prefer to be called Joe, I think, if you're not.
Yeah. Unless you're yelling at me, then you can say Joseph. That actually helps me understand the subtext.
You see your dad saying, then shut up!
Oh, they're mad. Okay, take this one.
And Joe Adams is here, Danielle Rodriguez is here as our chair of the ACC, the Architectural Control Committee, and myself, Rob Gibbs, chair of the Nominations and Elections Committee is here. It should be noted that Daniel and I do not have a vote, although we are board members, but we will not be voting in the organizational meeting today. So thank you all for being here. Often in normal meetings, Daniel and I may weigh in with opinions. We can make motions, we can second motions, we can be part of committees. We can take part on the, if there is an appeals committee, but we cannot vote under our bylaws. I am working on the certification report is almost complete. I will be, my plan is to take that to the N&E committee. We have our meeting on Monday night where we will review it and vote whether to or make any quick corrections, but we will vote to approve it, sending it to, or recommend approval, taking it to this body on Thursday, November 13th for your review, and asking that you, at that point, the AGM election would be officially certified and official. What I could do is review the outcome.
We could take another vote as far as whether it's closed or raised hands, just in case.
It was 4-4.
Yeah, but anybody
We
want to
could
change their
also-
mind just to move forward, or?
We could also explain like what are the official like roles and responsibilities of each of these individuals, right? So there's what I understand from the bylaws, but it'd be great to understand. Like, so for instance, like my understanding of president for instance is that in these board meetings, they're not necessarily, they're impartial and they just mostly lead the meetings and they don't necessarily have a vote unless there's a tie in which they can vote, they can break the vote, but they can't really debate or aren't necessarily meant to put weight into debates. And so from a presidential standpoint, when I'm considering who I want to vote for, that is also helpful for me to consider, like, oh, who's going to be good at running a meeting versus who's going to be good at potentially debating or having interesting says on potentially homeowner concerns, right, for instance, at least from my interpretation. And so it would just be really cool to have a clarity of what that means for everybody else, so that as I'm voting or as I'm nominating folks, that gives me a good idea of who I might be doing that for.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So I think what, Joe, what I'm hearing is you would like more information about what the role of the president is and what their powers are during a meeting?
Yeah, for sure. And also, just in general, like for the executive committee indeed, the one thing I've understood for sure is that they mostly, it's mostly served as like for meetings that need to be called immediately within a 48-hour notice without giving the full board approval, which is for a variety of reasons, right? Personnel changes, emergencies, what have you. And so to me, it's more of a title than it is necessarily a role distinguisher, right? Unless there's more, right? So for instance, is treasurer always the leader of the finance committee? Is secretary always leader of XYZ committee? Those types of things aren't really understood in the bylaws, and so I wanted to understand from you guys as the new folks coming in, what are the interpretations of those roles for you guys so that I understand what I'm voting for and who I'm nominating, if that's helpful.
Sure.
Okay.
Would you guys like to talk a little bit about that, or do you want me to weigh in?
Well, you're chairing the
Yeah,
meeting,
so the president, the executive committee is comprised of the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer. The president does have a vote.
And it could be a voting board member as well. In there.
Say again?
It could be a voting board member as well, it doesn't have to be a
Yes.
officer per se.
Yes. The president president's main role is to facilitate the board of directors meeting. They can debate, they can vote, but typically,
It's Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Typically what they'll do is a motion will come aboard over the body. They will they will allow people to raise their hand and debate. They are looking for each person to get one bite of the apple first before anybody else has a bite. They're looking to not have conversation, but to have orderly debate.
Yeah, maintain.
And usually they are one of the last people to take that bite of the apple. And then they would call a vote.
Perfect.
The vice president's role is to assume the duties of the president if the president is not available to do that. They also chair the appeals committee, so that if there is if there's someone that wants to appeal a fine or something in that regard, they chair that board. The secretary is responsible for all the records of the body, in terms of minutes, those kinds of things. And I'm sure that you guys may have more to say about that. The treasurer, under the bylaws, always chairs the finance committee, and they facilitate those meetings. The finance committee reviews all of the motions that would come forward to us in terms of expenditures, and that committee makes recommendations whether we should approve or not.
Thank you so much.
Does that help?
No, that's super helpful.
Would you guys add anything to that? Have I missed any of your responsibilities or
I have the
powers?
definitions up, but we pretty much covered it.
Yeah,
You did this already, yeah.
Are we killed enough time?
thank you. What we have, so far we have, two of the directors have been nominated for, president. And they are Keith McLean and Rick Asai. The board members have voted 4-4 whether or not to vote, by secret ballot or by show of hands. Do you have a preference on secret ballot or show of hands to vote for the officers, for the executive committee, excuse me?
I don't really have a preference.
You have to pick one,
You
because
gotta
we
pick
are.
one.
Somebody asked if I secret ballot's fine, I think.
Okay, so we will
So I will
vote,
need to get, does everyone have a pen? I can get paper. No, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't need to bring pens, I'll get paper.
Okay.
Does everyone have something to write with?
Sean, do you have any questions at all about this process?
Yeah, we're in a time to sit here not doing anything.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Gene, any questions about the executive committee, the roles and responsibilities of the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and all?
No, I don't think so. I've reviewed a lot of them earlier,
Okay,
so I think I'm good, thank you.
you're welcome.
I do apologize for being late. I don't know, I had 6:30 on my calendar, so I apologize for that.
We've all been there.
I've received a text before
You
saying,
gotta ask him.
yes, Tom.
Do the new directors have email addresses yet?
Yes.
Now you're stuck.
I'm still trying to set mine up. That's what I was doing actually.
Do you guys feel like you're sitting there?
Yeah.
You don't ask any questions,
No, there's no,
Committee table.
I think it's really good any question is a good question, I think it's good to ask them. I'll speak for myself, my desire is that we have good, open, honest discussion, and it's that we trust each other as a team. I know that all of us are volunteering quite a bit of time to serve our community, and we all want to come upon decisions that, without having a conversation, we aren't gonna be able to make a decision. We want decisions that are good decisions, so. Yeah. Trying to think, what else? I talked about the certification. Oh, Gene, I mentioned that the certification report is, that comes out from the Nominations and Elections Committee. It just certifies the election,
Okay.
and there'll be, it will be a complete breakdown of how many ballots were mailed, how many were returned, both to Seven Valleys ballot box, Unilex ballot box in California. There'll be objective evidence of that the postage was mailed to both non-US and US addresses.
Good job.
The results,
Very good.
the official results.
Okay.
And then, me being me, there'll be a comment section at the very end of what we learned, I always like with what went well and where is opportunities for improvement.
No, that's great, actually. That's really good. It's really, it's really valuable.
Okay, so with that, we have both Keith and Rick nominated as president. Would you please record your votes for president of Sun Valley Community Association Board of Directors?
I'm trying to give people any advice here.
Do we want any statements from them on why they think they?
I think we've known them long enough.
And then I need those.
Can you pass those?
Don't worry, I won't look.
Jean,
Where's all these tabs go?
I just panicked. Put yours in this pocket.
I have a basket.
Look at you.
You're just a step.
Got an 8-yard basket.
She'd get right back into it.
Yeah.
The votes is the vote is even, it's 4-4.
That can't be.
You must be the.
Oh, I'm sorry, sometimes my fingers don't work very well. It is 5-4, Rick, you are our new president.
Well, I thank you. I'd like to say that I was thinking about maybe next year, not this year. But I serve at the pleasure of the board, and if that's the decision, I'll do my best. I don't know if I can improve on what Keith's done, but I'll give it a go. So I guess
You're now presiding.
You are now presiding.
okay.
You will, the order would be the vice president, secretary, treasurer.
So I guess nominations are now open for vice president.
I nominate Tiny for vice president.
I nominate
Secret
Keith.
ballot. Oh, thank you, yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say, I nominate Keith, like, wasn't sure how to.
Yeah. okay, so you go, me and Keith.
Well, wait a minute. You want to close nominations?
Any other nominations? Okay, hearing none, the nominations nominations are closed, we have Tiny and Keith have been nominated for vice president. I guess we-
But they're both willing?
Oh, I guess I should ask that. Are you willing to serve?
I don't know, to be honest with you. That I don't know. I guess so.
All right, so I'm gonna say no, because I wanna make sure that, all right, so,
So,
I got you.
okay, so just Keith is the only
yeah.
one. Okay.
Okay.
And Keith is, okay.
Well, it sucks, I voted for you, so.
Well, I think that will, so I guess we have a vice president, congratulations. I think that will help tremendously in the transition to have that continuity on that executive team. Congratulations. Next is treasurer. Nominations are now open for the office of treasurer.
I nominate Jean Massner.
Any other nominations for treasurer?
On the board,
Okay, so,
I think Jean being on the finance committee for the last year is probably a better grip of everything, and so I would, if Jean is willing to accept the position, I will respectfully decline the position of treasurer.
Sure, thank you.
okay. Any other nominations? Okay, so hearing none, nominations are closed, and congratulations, Jean, you're our treasurer.
Great, thank you. Thanks, guys, thanks for your vote of support and trust.
Oh, it's not good to vote on the last doodle.
Okay, and so now, nominations are open for secretary.
I nominate Lori.
Okay, any other nominations, are you?
I'm willing to accept.
Any
I
other-
nominate Tiny.
Okay, are you willing to?
I am.
Okay. Any other nominations? Okay, so nominations are closed. We'll have a secret ballot, yes.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
I don't vote.
Can you count?
Oh, yes.
Well, you're running.
No, you're running the
You can do
meeting.
it.
Yeah.
We gotta read them.
I thought that you were in the
It's your first from now on.
Last time my fingers didn't serve me very well either.
Okay, congratulations, Tiny is our secretary, or secretary. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so that concludes this part of it, right, Ralph? So now, entertain a motion to go into executive session
Move to go into closed session
for personnel issues, yeah.
for personal issues.
Second that.
All right. Let's see. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so we go into executive session. Back in. Oh, yeah, sorry. Good. She didn't say anything.
It was just a large meeting,
Oh.
that's good enough.
Okay, we'll call, open session of the meeting back to order. That's 7:05. Okay, so we have two motions to make coming out of closed session. The first motion is to deny the personnel request. Any further discussion? No, okay. So all in favor?
You need a second, you need a second.
Yeah, can I just? So the actual motion would be, I move to deny the personnel request as presented to the board
In closed session.
in closed session.
Second. Thank you.
That was Tom?
So voting in favor is denying the request, just to make it clear. This is kind of so all in favor of denying the request, raise your hand.
That's unanimous.
Unanimous. Opposed? None. Okay, so that's unanimous. The second motion is move that the SBCA Board of Directors approve a one-time voluntary increase in the monthly contribution made by SBCA for the cost of employee health coverage in the amount of $39.25 per month, with an estimated annual cost of $471 per employee per year, or $11,304 in total.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All in favor of that motion, raise your hand.
That
Opposed?
is unanimous.
That's unanimous. Okay, any other business before we adjourn?
Well, if you want to do this
Yeah, we
first.
wanna do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
while we're all still here, as you know, we have 4 committees that need volunteers. Finance, document review, long-range planning, and why did I put finance twice? Because it was, and long-range planning, document review, finance, and safety. And now this is not, if you put your name down on here, this is not you saying, I'm going to be on that. It is just what committees if you might be interested in being on. So you might want to put your name on all of these and say, this is my number 1 choice. Just put 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 1 or 2, whatever. But if I pass this around, and just shows interest and it gets you thinking about what committee you might want to be on. This coming year, the next board meeting, we're going to be electing chairs of those committees. And seconds, yeah, Sean?
I just wanted to see how we would propose a new committee as well, is that?
There's a process, there's a couple of forms that need to be done, and I actually had an example, but you have to put forward some paperwork, which if you wanted to do that, we could show you how to do that.
Okay.
You have to bring forth a resolution for the committee. What kind of committee are you thinking?
We're talking about, Parks and Rec Committee, and then perhaps,
I'm sorry, I should have asked.
and then, another one I was thinking, like a Sudden Valley Action Committee, where it's like getting direct input from the residents, it's like surveys and polls and stuff like that. Getting some more buy-in from the community, that people are able to make the meetings, be able to reach out to them and, get some information.
One thing to consider is that when a committee is formed, there's a large overhead investment of staff time in each of the committees. Also board member time, because our bylaws require that 2 directors be present on each committee. And with 11 individuals, and 4 of which have already committed to being members of the executive team, it's a lot. You may have heard in one of the meetings that Michael estimated board directors spend between 600 and 800 hours each year on board activities. The meetings alone are often long.
Yeah.
And we do have 2 a month. But that doesn't mean that there aren't other mechanisms for eliciting volunteers, getting input, and having members of the community participate. A great example is this past year, the short-term rental task force, which made it they had a specific objective. They had fewer requirements around record keeping and staff support and all of that, so it was almost easier to operate, and also it got the job done. So as you're thinking of often new members to the board of directors have a lot of energy and good ideas, so just think about the cost of the committee as you're trying to make those ideas become real.
Joe?
Yeah, I was gonna say, listening to what you were talking about though, I would say that from what I've seen of the charters of the safety and the long range planning committee, what you're asking for can be accomplished by both of those committees.
Right, you could also amend, choose, suggest that the charters be amended to include different direction for committees.
Absolutely. Parks and safety.
Oh, great, sorry.
Yeah, and also even, if there is long-range committee or safety committee, there can be subcommittees off of that committee to get some stuff done. If there's, interest and, need for something to get done. And then you already have a committee in line, you already got 2 board members on it. And you got, it's already geared. And so, the communication thing, good ideas.
Yeah.
And parks is, it's all part of taking care of what we got here, so.
Totally.
All right,
Yeah, one more thing. Yeah, this is more personal opinion, but as far as surveys go, it takes a lot of time to put them together, get them sent out, and they don't get returned.
Well, it wouldn't be like a mail survey, it'd be a digital survey.
Those takes time.
Yeah, I mean, we could fire it up, I think decently quick, with the technology nowadays. Yeah, Survey Monkey, is a big one, you send them a link, they bang them out real quick. And yeah, we just send it out to all and kind of promote it and, be one of the big promoters of that, during the year, just like survey, so we can get your guys to buy in and, input on what we're doing, because I think that's the big disconnect, right? It's like, a lot of the community don't feel like involved, they don't feel like they're in the room with making the deals, right? So.
yes, communication has been a challenge.
Communications committee.
Right.
Well, that's why you're here.
Yeah, this is why Jed's here.
No, that's why you're here.
Yeah, I mean,
And, long range, we are in the process of putting a survey together
Yeah.
to roll out in January with Monkey. They should jump on long range.
Yeah, no, we put it, out there.
Yeah, so I think the point Tiny wanted to make, and that we all want to make from here is that we appreciate everyone who stepped up and volunteered to serve on the board. It is, as Joanne has described, a tremendous amount of work. It takes a lot of heart and passion to fulfill that duty well. But in that, also, we have a certain level of expectation that each of us will serve on at least one committee to help share that burden, because we're all going to be working really, really hard for the benefit of the community, because that's why we're here. But we need to share that load. And so I would implore you all to take a look at the bylaws. It describes fairly well. We'll have to nuance out some of the details, and maybe we can tweak the charters. But you can look and see where your interests fit in best. And I'm going to try to reach out to each of you the next week or so and have a conversation, and we can help. We'll have a meeting next Thursday and try and get started on that process.
Sounds good.
Not this Thursday, next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, so, yeah.
A week from, yeah. So once we kind of end the meeting, I'm just gonna leave this here, and if you could all take a look at it, put your names on what you think you might be interested. Again, give me a 1, 2, 3, or, you know, I mean, you don't have to put your name on everyone, but it does help when we're nominating people that, you know, if this person is interested in, you know, long-range planning and this one's interested in document review, it just makes sense for us to nominate people that already have the interest as opposed to trying to force you to be interested in something that you're not.
And if you're not sure.
Yeah, it's just to kind of get your, sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted.
It's not on the list, but I'd really be interested in staying on the appeals committee. So,
That we do that one as the appeals come up because they're so sporadic and, so each time if there's an appeal, then I come to you and say, what are you doing next Thursday?
yeah, well, now Keith will be coming.
Yeah, that's right, I forgot. You're in charge of appeals now.
Okay, anything else? Thank you all very much, meeting is adjourned at 7:16.